About time people started looking back to Africa. All trade winds are blowing back towards Africa.
His story is so big. And I'm not just saying that for him being my father, but he's also someone as a mentor, or somebody that I look up to.
It's just exciting to know that a great church like Victory has made it part of their duty to send missionaries across the world. Send me. It's a send me kind of undertaking.
We're called to gather and then scatter.
This August will mark.
Just his story has inspired me to be able to inspire others. Special guest. We have a special guest in the building. So you guys, wherever you guys are behind the screen, I want you guys to give our guest a clap. It happens to be my dad. I have the honor to have this opportunity to speak to him. And we're going to just dive in deep, and we're going to talk about different things and different topics. And he has some exciting news that's coming up in August. And I'm going to let him give that news to you guys. All right. All right. So anyway, what's up, Dad? How you doing?
Fine.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to the space. Let me tell you. Actually, putting all of this together was just like almost like a dream, right? It was very like surreal, and it was I guess something that happened just yesterday. We had no plans on creating this podcast. We had no plans of even setting up a place for a podcast. I know you guys in the camera, you guys might see the dog Louie. So also you guys say hi to Louie in the background. And it's a work in progress. All right. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's dive in deep. We have a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of things that we're gonna discuss. And I want you to give us the announcements. What's going on? Like I'm hearing a lot of great things. So tell us about what's happening in your life right now.
Yeah. So my next phase of life is going to be dedicated to doing missions, going to mission fields as far as I will possibly go. And the reason is because I'm personally a product of the mission field. Growing up, I was raised by what I would call missionary parents.
Mm-hmm.
My dad started a church somewhere down in the villages in Africa.
Wow.
And that's the foundation that he laid in me. And the church grew. And by the time I was old enough, church my dad founded is where I had my wedding ceremony.
Wow.
At that church.
Wow.
So, and by saying missionary work normally involves travel.
Uh-huh.
So it is something someone does outside of their ordinary comfort zone.
So Rwanda. A lot of people don't know, where is Rwanda located?
Rwanda is in the greater East Africa region. It borders Uganda on one side, Tanzania on another. Yes, the neighbor borders the Congo. It's a little landlocked country in Africa.
Okay. So I think a lot of people don't understand how Rwanda's history has plagued them a little bit. It has kind of put them in a place where people were in fear. When I heard of Rwanda, when I first learned about Rwanda, I learned about the genocide. This was the Hutu and the Tutsi, I believe.
The Hutu and the Tutsi.
Yeah, the Hutu and the Tutsis. And if you guys know, genocide is where they try to wipe out a whole entire group of people. And the Hutu and the Tutsis, it got really bad. Millions of people died in that genocide, and now it's 2025. And you're getting an opportunity to go and help them, kind of, because those wounds are still there. So how do you think that with your mission, how do you think that that can help with those wounds that need to be healed?
Um, healing is always accelerated by the art of coming to terms with the reality, being able to speak about a certain occurrence or a certain condition. That really accelerates healing. And I don't want to say that I know at what stage of healing they're at. And I don't even want to go with the mindset of what I have read or seen. There have been movies made, there's been many documentaries. So I want to go with a completely clear and unbiased mind. Just go and learn from ground zero.
Okay. Man, that's powerful. That's powerful. So on this missions trip, I hear you're going with the Victory Church.
Yes.
It's actually the church that we attend. And how do you think that a place like a church that started right here, is it Norcross or Duluth, right? Started from there and now is in a place where it's taking somebody all the way from Kenya to come to America, and then from America to go back to another country in the eastern region, right? How do you think that is impacting like places like that? You know, these remote places.
It's just exciting to know that a great church like Victory has made it part of their duty to send missionaries across the world, and I'm more excited about the missionary works to Africa, and that's because of the people's commitment to send missionaries. Because the bigger part about missionary work is that you get sent. Not all of us can go to the mission field.
Wow.
But a church like Victory is within the ability to send missionaries because of the great gospel work, because of the great teachings that are taught there. Everybody gets incorporated in the process, so it's not really cut a check and go kind of endeavor. It is send me. It's a send me kind of undertaking. So for the strong spiritual group that Victory is, and with a big understanding of the role that everyone plays in making mission work possible, then we are not limited in where we can go.
Wow. That was a handful you drop right there. We're not limited on where we can grow, where we can go.
Yes.
I think one of the biggest things that we discussed last year at Victory, we talked about we're called to gather and then scatter. You know, while we're going through the books of Acts, we talked about you called to come and gather together, right? And then we learn about the great things of that God has done for us, right? And then we scatter. You know, we scatter and we go and talk about those great things. And I think in a trip like this, you're being called. You know, you're being called to scatter. You know, essentially you're being called to go and scatter somewhere else, right? And while you are scattering, you're gonna get people to also gather, and from that is gonna be another mission trip that we never know. We don't know what impact you guys are gonna be able to play, but then with the impact that you're able to play, right? Let's say somebody like me who's still just here in Georgia and Atlanta, how can I be of any help to you in this mission that you can be able to help others?
Yeah. You'd be amazed how much little donations can do.
And then,
I was actually I was discussing with my granddaughter Giselle about the input she can make. Even because she likes her noodles, and I was telling her, if you can skip even just one or two parts of noodles, it will add up. So somebody like you can skip maybe 5 coffees. If you can give up something for the bigger cause. So actually, it becomes more exciting when small donations add up. It's not even about getting big donations. It's about the small things that you can give up to make to break down the big goal. Yeah.
wow, that's major. So you're saying, if I gave up Starbucks for a week, and I say, you know what, I'm not gonna have Starbucks this week because I'm gonna put this into whatever work it's going to do for the people in Rwanda,
Yes.
right? You're saying that little sacrifice will go a way long way.
It will go a long way, yes. It's, in fact, I'm just excited about the people who've been reaching out to me, telling me, what things, the little things that we really take for granted.
Yeah.
And just looking at 1, 2, 3, 5 people, makes they make the bigger number easy. Sometimes when you think about what it costs to be out in the mission field, if you think about it from a personal undertaking, it can be scary. But when people gather together, people give up just a little bit of what because we are so blessed.
And
You would be surprised how blessed we are. Just giving up. If you want to, you can fast for a day. Yeah, you can fast for a day, and not just fast, but divert that to mission work. It will really make a big difference. Yes.
man, so giving up the small things can actually somehow put us in that field, in the mission work field as well.
Yeah, you become a part of the mission. Become a part of the mission.
Part of the mission, man. That's major. That's major. So then let me ask you, how, let's say after we give our donations, right? And you're out in the field, right? How do we get to see the seeds that we're planting? Like how do we get to see that?
I have a social media account,
Okay.
and the benefit we have today, unlike in the past, is that we can connect real time. We can now connect real time on social media. I'm hoping to, by August, I'm hoping to have more than 10,000 TikTok followers. Get a following on the YouTube channel. I will not even feel alone. I will feel every one person who will make themselves part of this. I will feel them and connect with every one of them real time on social media.
Wow. Wow. So it's kind of amazing the power that we have in our hands. We look at our phones every day and we're like, okay, I can call my cousin or I can call my family and whatever it is, right? But we don't really see the benefits of it. I'm sure, me, I've born in the 90s. A lot of technology has arrived, and I'm pretty sure before that it wasn't as easy to communicate. It wasn't as easy to join somebody's journey, So I think that we're blessed, like you said, we're blessed to have this, and man, I think some of the viewers would love to know your social media. I think we'll post his social media, and you guys go and follow and subscribe, because that also is, you just making that little effort. That also is almost like a contribution as well. Just being supportive and sometimes sending a message, sending a prayer, and words of encouragement. I'm sure they'll be big for you, being in a place,
Yes.
especially being in a place that you're unfamiliar with.
Yes, and I envision a point where I will go on say my TikTok account and just have people give a donut, a TikTok donut, which is really not, doesn't cost much. But I would think, no, I believe. Let me not say I believe by people just reaching out and sending a TikTok donut, just a TikTok donut.
You've heard that, guys? A TikTok donut, okay?
Yeah, by people sending that, it will stretch, and I know I'll be a blessing to the local community. Yeah.
Thank you. You guys hear that? It's almost a TikTok donut. So you guys might sacrifice Starbucks to go buy a TikTok donut, and it might go a really long way.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's amazing. Let's see, what else do we need to touch bases on? I know we talked about your missions trip. Man, I would love to get to know you a bit. Can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah. Let me start from. Let me the fact that you're already my son, and you and Megan are very lovely children. But I'm an immigrant. I came to the U.S. This August will mark 21 years since coming to the U.S. To live the dream. But then over the years, I've realized that I was really just cut out for the mission field. So I think going forward, I want to identify more as a missionary more than anything else. God has been good for all the years since 1991 when I made the decision, committed to Christ. There's nothing he hasn't done. Elevating me from very, very humble beginnings to here where I am now, that I can be a blessing to someone in Africa. And I want to say this: all winds, all trade winds are blowing back towards Africa. There's so much turning around in Africa. I think people should start connecting with the continent. There's so much turning around, and for someone like me who has lived both worlds, I've lived. You and your sister were born in Kenya. I had a career in Kenya, and come to the US. Had a business here. I could tell you for a fact that it's about time people started looking back to Africa. And this past Sunday when I was in church, I started to be reminded that I actually come from Kenya, which is known as the cradle of mankind. And
tell us about that. Tell us about the cradle of mankind.
Yeah, there have been archaeological discoveries in Kenya, which point to the origin of man. Maybe one of these times, with the support that we are gaining, I'll make a trip to the Olduvai Gorge, where there was a lot of discovery about the archaeological artifacts that point to where mankind really started. I was almost feeling like Africa really is the Garden of Eden. Um, no, I was talking about myself. So
Yeah.
when we talk about Africa, I'll speak about Africa if there's a question about Africa.
Oh, that's amazing. Even for him to explain his story, I mean, he kind of shortened it down a little bit, but his story is so big. It's it would have different series to talk about his story, and I'm not just saying that for him being my father, but he's also someone as a mentor or somebody that I look up to. Somebody that's me how to be a man, and just his story has inspired me to be able to inspire others. And just listening to your story and listening to all the things, and even the way I was raised, the way you guys raised me, to be a bridge, someone that can help people go from one side to the other side, and being that bridge, sometimes it's difficult, being that bridge, like sometimes all the cars are on the bridge, and it's weighing you down, and we have to remember within ourselves that we are a bridge, and we can't be upset when people step on us or people do all these kind of things, right? You are a bridge. That's what you're designed for. You're designed to bridge the gap. So his story is, it's a sentiment to that, illusion of the bridge. He's the connector, and we're looking forward to see how this Rwanda trip is gonna expand things from not just Rwanda, but to other places in the world. And again, we're excited. I'm excited that I get this opportunity to have this first podcast with you.
I'm excited.
And you guys go check out. Would you like to give them your socials and stuff like that to see where they can find you?
Yeah, it's better when we'll post all the links and then people can follow.
You guys heard that? We're going to post all the links at the end of our video. You guys go ahead and go follow and go support him. And you guys stay along on this podcast. We're going to have a bunch of other exciting guests. And yeah, man, thank you guys so much for checking in with us. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys on the trip to Rwanda. Any closing remarks to tell them, Indy?
You are the ones who I'm counting on. You mean a lot to this. Follow along. Let's take this trip together.
Yeah, that's amazing, guys. All right. So stick along. Next video coming up. And guess what? You guys are going to see him in Rwanda. All right, guys. Thank you.